Good day, folks. This is Greg Judy at Green Pastures Farm. Today we're stocking ponds. I went and picked up a bunch of fish, and we put the fathead minnows in last year. The fathead minnows were put in at about 2 pounds per pond. We've got 10 new ponds that we built. And there's the downspout for the water tank on the back for the cattle to drink out of. We have a tire tank back there. This pond's really done nice. It's filled up good. We got a few cattails in it. Good water life. See the little bugs there swimming around. There's tons and tons and tons of the fathead minnows spring. Ooh, there went one swimming right in. Yeah, there's a lot of breeders in here. Nice, fat, juicy ones. And these are going to enjoy it. So we're going to put in the channel cat and the bluegill. And they will be put in right now, and then the bass will be put in next year. So I'm going to ease this in here. You don't want to just take and dump them in. Got to ease them in there. So it's best to get your water out of the pond, let it come in. See how we're doing that? There's one that a little bit. Oh, he took off. See, they're gonna swim out of there. Look at that. So you want them to swim out. You don't want to be just tossing them in the air. You'll kill a bunch of them. There's some channel cats. There's some bluegill. Okay, there you go. Oh, you all got a nice home there. There's one that didn't make it. That'll be some coon food for tonight. Coon find him. They're all gone. They're in the new home now. And folks, it takes quite a few bluegill to grow any bass, and so you don't want to put the bass in the same time you do the bluegill and the channel cat, because if you do, the bass are going to eat them all and you end up with a bunch of stunted fish. So you want the bluegill to get a full head start. And we got fathead minnows in here, thousands of them, because they've been in here for a full year. So the bluegill are going to have a really good diet of eating fathead minnows and catching all this other stuff in here. By the time the bass come in next year, the bluegill will have spawned. Folks, it takes 5 pounds of bluegill to grow 1 pound of bass. Now that's directly from the Missouri Department of Conservation Pond Handbook. I had no clue till I read that. I'm like, my gosh. And so what they warn you about is don't get all freaked out when you go around your pond and you see thousands and thousands of bluegill. Oh my God, it's overstocked. No. It takes a lot of bluegill to grow a big bass. And so if you think about that, if you're going to go from, say a 6-inch bass up to an 8-pound bass, oh my gosh, you're talking 5 pounds of bluegill per pound. That's 40 pounds. That's 40 pounds of bluegill to grow one 8-pound bass. That's a lot of bluegill. So I don't get freaked out when I see a lot of bluegill. I just think, oh my gosh, I'm going to have me some big bass in here. But folks, this pond is beautiful. We don't let the cattle in here. We're going to move the wire in now. The wire is clear back over here because this is all dirt. When we built the pond, we put down our seed and our old hay. And man, did we get we got a stand. We got a stand in here. I mean, look at that. All the ground's covered all the way around this pond. So we didn't lose a lot of silt by silting in. And this pond's about 12 foot deep in the very middle. For a good fishing pond, you need a minimum of 8 feet. Because if you don't have 8 feet of water and it gets cold in the wintertime, your fish are going to run out of oxygen. And in Minnesota, of course, your pond will freeze all the way to the bottom. But we're not in Minnesota. We're in central Missouri. We still get pretty cold here, but you got to have, a minimum of 8 foot of water. But look how clean that water is. I mean, there's plants down there. There's all kinds of places for the little fish to hide. Okay? You got to have some habitat for your little fish. So we're going to put some cedars in here. I don't have those in yet. I should have, but I just, haven't had time to get them in. But we're going to probably put 5 to 6 20-foot cedars in here. And you want to put your cedars in water that's no more than 8 to 10 foot deep. Because if you stick your cedar right out in the middle of that pond, it's not going to do you any good. And that's because the cedar is in too deep of water. All your oxygen in the pond is in your top 8 feet. And your best fishing is going to be probably in the top, I don't know, 4 feet of water. That's where your oxygen level is the highest. That's where the fish are hanging out. That's where they're eating the little fish fry. And so when you go fishing, you cast your line right out to the middle of that pond. That's not where the fish are. The fish are up here around the edges, okay? 4 to 6 feet of water. That's where you're going to have your best fishing. So I'm looking forward to this. This is my last pond that I stocked, and I did 6 just now, and Alex and them are doing 5 on the other farm. And we're going to put the bass in probably next June. And so all these fish that we put in here, the channel cat, especially the channel cat, folks, don't ever put channel cat in the same time as your bass. They'll eat them. Because the channel cat looks like it's the diameter of your little finger. That bass gets a little size on him. He'll just suck up every one of them. And these channel cat aren't cheap. I mean, I think I bought the 4 to 6 inch ones, and they were like $1. That's pretty expensive fish food, feeding your bass $1 fingerling channel cat. So don't do that. Let the channel cat get some size on them, and then put the bass in. Because the bass are the predator fish. Okay? I love fishing. I love eating them. I'm not too much of a catch and release guy, because when I do take time to go fishing, I want to stock my freezer up. And it's about that time to do that for the winter, so we can have fish all winter long. Right now is the time to be catching them. It's kind of cool today. They'd really be biting, so I'm gonna have to take a fish day and do that. Anyway, everybody, this is Greg Judy signing off on a beautiful, cool autumn day, and everyone have a good one.